Colorado's own Channel 2. This is Daybreak.
6 o'clock on this Friday morning and a good snowfall overnight. This is what it looks like in downtown Denver right now. Looks pretty nice out there. You can see the roads have been plowed, but they are still pretty slick in spots. We will keep you updated on traffic conditions this morning.
Yeah, on the north side, here's a look at I-25 at 104th. Drivers have been pretty careful so far this morning. Our own Ch2 Turner reporting from there that things have gone pretty smooth. Low volume, as you can see at this point. There is ice on the roads, though.
And in the high country, things get a lot worse. This is a live look from Vail Pass right now. I-70 is a treacherous drive this morning. There have been several accidents reported all over the interstate this morning. We will keep you updated. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. I'm Kim Posey.
I'm Tom Green. We do have school closures. We have many delays as well. At least 45 reported at this point. Some of them include Clear Creek RE1, the Platte Canyon schools, and the Summit County School District all closed today. Douglas County schools, one of the metro areas, on a delay. They're on a 90-minute delay. A complete list of closures and delays running throughout the morning on the bottom of your screen on our ticker. They're also on our website, of course, at KWGN.com.
Right now, let's get right over to Chris Comer, who has the very latest on our forecast. Chris?
You know, you say it's bad up in the mountains, but it's all relative, right? I mean, huge powder. It's like the best day. This is like the biggest powder day that we've had all season up there. So in a sense, it's like a good day if you're a skier or a boarder. I mean, Breck's got 26 storm total so far. Vail, 26. I think both these numbers will be pushed up to 30 by the end of, and all is said and done. Fort Collins 6 overnight, Loveland 7, Denver 4, Golden 4, and we'll add a little bit more to that. But now we're in a lull, an in-between section here with the first storm moving away. Snow being pulled away, and we may even see a little bit of sun here in Denver later this morning. Storm number 2, though, will ride the powerful jet into Denver by this afternoon, giving us a little bit more of accumulation for the evening rush. But here's proof that we are in the lull here with the snow moving away. The blue is moving away from Denver. Back in the mountains, still some speckles of blue, so some snow still falling up there over the high peaks. It's 16 in town, cold morning, 18 in Fort Collins, 14 down south in Castle Rock. Here's how to plan out the day. So a couple of flurries this morning, but really, I think things are going to start to dry out, and we may even see some sun, 24 by the lunch hour. As we hit the evening rush, a high today of only 27 with that second wave of snow coming in this afternoon. This evening with another 1 to 3 inches of accumulation. Here, I'll break that out for you on our pinpoint snow model. Another 1 to 2 this afternoon, this evening up north. 2 in the metro through Aurora, 3 to 4 more down south. Foothills could see another 4 to 5, and the ski area is another 4, 5, 6 inches of snow, Vicki. On the way this afternoon, and I think that'll push those grand totals to around 30.
Thanks so much. Right now, taking a look at I-25 near Park Avenue. You see those flashing lights. That's the exit ramp there. Park Avenue is still closed because of a stuck semi. You can see traffic slowing down on the freeway. But conditions here at I-25 and 40th look a lot better than even just an hour ago. The more volume that takes to the road, the more they're carving out some lane lines. Still going to be icy. Still going to be snow covered, snow packed, especially to the west side of town. We have a new rollover accident eastbound I-76 over 270, northbound I-25, a crash at 20th as well. 225, boy, big issues here. Northbound 225 is closed at Mississippi due to a pileup accident. No injuries, thank goodness, but that's going to be really slow in the meantime. But just very icy in this area, so we're looking at several accidents on the transition ramps at I-70 and 225 eastbound I-70. Also an accident at Peoria. Taking a look at the drive time, we broke the sensor. Northbound 225, there's no drive time because it's closed at Mississippi. Southbound 225 running 31 minutes. I-70, I-76 to 225 right now, running 23 minutes. So Kim and Tom, people need a lot of extra time.
Okay, there was that snow overnight that has left a lot of ice on the roads this morning.
Absolutely. We want to make sure you're prepared and know what the driving conditions are like. Ch2 Turner is covering the storm for us up north. She's live in Thornton along I-25 and 104th. Good morning, Ch2.
Well, good morning, Kim. Let's see if we see any more of that pavement, as you like to say, out there that can pretty much let us know if things are going a little better. Well, actually, we do not. So there's still a lot of snow on the road here at I-25 near 104th. And also volume is picking up right now, so you want to keep it slow. And if you can, try to keep 2 cars distance between yourself and the car in front of you. So if you have to stop quickly, you're going to avoid one of those fender benders we've been hearing about all over the place this morning. Also, be careful on those ramps. I noticed a real issue on the entrance and exit ramps up here, as they are not doing as well as the main roadway here. Keep the gas tank full. If you slide off the road, you're going to need to idle a little bit. Be prepared before you leave. Shawl Turner reporting live from Thornton, Channel 2 News Daybreak.
All right, Shawl, thanks very much. Of course, we'll be back with you in just a bit as we continue to update the situation all around the metro area.
Of course, this snow is causing some problems all over the state for some XL customers. Some are waking up this morning without any power.
Now, XL's website does give you a live look at where they are having power issues, and this is a look at that website. Those green arrows indicate some of the smaller power outages, those green pins, if you will. A yellow pin is a little more significant, and then you can also see there is an orange pin as well up there, and so you have to keep an eye on that because that is a larger outage. But XL is promising to have power restored sometime around 9:30 this morning.
And take a look at the damage the snow caused up in Leadville. The roof of the Sayer McKee building collapsed last night, causing the front of the building to actually push outwards. Police closed off a section of Main Street to deal with the collapse. Luckily, though, no one was hurt. Well, it is all business for the Broncos now. The players won't have to face the media again until after the game. But this morning, Coach Fox will be talking in about 15 minutes along with the Seahawks coach, Pete Carroll.
And then the Broncos get back out on the practice field. Yesterday, they moved their practice indoors, trying to prevent any injuries on the frozen synthetic turf at the Jets training center. The doors were wide open, though. They wanted that cold air to practice in. Cami Carmen's been out in the cold air all week, joining us bright and early. And there she is out at MetLife Stadium, the scene of the Super Bowl 48. And Cami is getting ready to join us live, and we'll check in with her in just a minute. We're going to take a break. It is 6:07. Stay with us right here on Daybreak.
We are now just 2 days away from the Super Bowl. The players, they're hunkering down. Coach Fox will speak to the media one more time coming up here in about 20 minutes, and then it is right to practice.
Yeah, the players don't have to deal with the media anymore. Boy, the media is a pain. One of the members of the media joins us now. Cami Carmen is live at MetLife Stadium, the site of Super Bowl 48. Stop bugging the players, Cami.
I know, we are just hammering them all the time. I have to say, you guys, this week, as much availability as there was, even we got tired of seeing the guys. I was like, okay, let's go. Let's get to this game thing. 5 straight days of availability. The guys were definitely tired of seeing us as well. The buzz is certainly building out here at MetLife Stadium. The Broncos, though, trying to isolate themselves from this buzz and all the hype as they kind of move into game mode now. They will get one more practice in today. Yesterday, they actually moved indoors. That turf, a little tough, a little frozen, so Coach Fox wanted to preserve the legs, kind of decrease any wear and tear. They moved inside, kept the doors open to keep all that cold air moving, but didn't want to risk any injury. Now, Peyton Manning, we all know, broke multiple records this season. He's had quite a ride, and he has led the Broncos to their first Super Bowl in 15 years. And Peyton, just recently, is feeling like he's finally fitting in here in Denver.
Last year, I really felt like a visitor the entire time. Like, that locker was just kind of mine for these couple of months. And I didn't, in the Broncos, it wasn't the Broncos. The Broncos made me feel as welcome as they possibly could. But I just felt, you feel like an outsider. And I think it's probably because I was so entrenched in one organization for so long that you can't just transition right away. This year, I can't tell you how much more comfortable I feel. Once again, I got to thank the Broncos for that. They have just continued to open their arms up and welcome me.
Sunday's big game. Let's talk about those security checks.
One thing that'll really make him just fit right in, I'm sure, is winning his second Super Bowl ring. And in kind of a sweet little ironic twist, Peyton Manning, of course, will go for his third Super Bowl here at MetLife Stadium, where brother Eli is kind of his backyard. Eli won his Super Bowl in Indy, in Peyton Manning's backyard. So kind of a unique little Manning twist, of course. There's lots of Manning twists in the NFL, it seems like. Live at MetLife Stadium, Cami Carmen, Channel 2 News, Daybreak.
All right, Cami, thanks. Again, a cold day in New Jersey, but Chris Tomer's saying the Jersey forecast is a little bit improved today.
Yeah, it is looking warmer. I think they're going to be at around 40 degrees. Ironically, that would make it a warmer Super Bowl. It wouldn't actually be the coldest Super Bowl ever there because New Orleans was colder.
Super Bowl 6.
Super Bowl 6, way back.
Like
48 years ago.
It's crazy. No, it is. Obviously, we've got snow to deal with. We're in the lull now. We're not going to see anything more this morning, but this afternoon, another wave comes in. I mean, the totals have been incredible up in the high country, as we expected. Here's extreme skier Dave Barassa up there at Loveland yesterday. 25 inches at Loveland. Just amazing amount of powder up there. Great stuff. Here's Chris Anthony's shot. He sent it me this morning from Beaver Creek, where they're up there at around 2 feet of snow. I mean, just such a pretty shot up there. The same story in Vail. Here's Fort Collins. You got about 6 inches overnight. Sharon Kaufman sending me that photo. City Park, 16 right now. It's 16 out at the airport. Winds are out of the northeast. A bit of a flurry out there, but we're in between right now. Couple of flurries for the rush. The main area of snow's moved away. We'll wait on the second part of the storm to cross the mountains and move into Denver. And here it is on our Pinpoint Futurecast. So that second part will build as we slide through the day. You can see it right there. So additional snow in the mountains. We are in pretty good shape here. We may even see some sun poke through at the lunch hour across I-25. But here comes that second wave of snow. That's the blue by 5 o'clock. Snowy rush hour. And that would creep up into Fort Collins as well. By 9 o'clock, it's still snowing here. Still snowing out I-70 and south. And then everything starts to dry up by tomorrow morning. It still looks like there's going to be some residual snow showers kind of hung up over the high peaks. Here's additionally what I'm expecting as far as snow. Pinpoint snow model center over the ski areas. Evergreen's got another 5 on the way, another 2 for Denver, as we've been saying, a little more in Castle Rock. But Loveland's got another 4, Winter Park 4, Breck to Vail another 3 to 5 on the way. Snowmass, Crested Butte, closer to that northern sort of horn of the San Juans. You're going to get 8 to 9 inches of additional snow on the way, and that's going to push most places up around 30-inch total. So 27 today, 29 tomorrow, better on Sunday at 31. Another storm in the forecast, Vicki, for Tuesday. And when we win the Super Bowl, of course, that's parade day. And it looks cold and snowy.
You know, I have a feeling that's not going to stop those Broncos fans from going down to the parade. Time saver traffic. Check this out. I have never seen anything like it. I-25. Oh, man, did they move the camera again? I-25 near 40th. There is a Coca-Cola semi. It was stuck in the center lane. But then I saw it starting to reverse there on the highway. Now, they zoomed out from it, so it's probably up in this area, but that's kind of what causes the slow traffic. Of course, it's going to be snow-covered and icy this morning, and now more people taking to the roads are carving out some lanes, but there's still that layer of ice underneath the snow. So we're seeing several accidents. Eastbound I-76 at 270, a rollover. A new accident eastbound I-70 near Sheridan. 225 is just a nightmare. If you can avoid getting on 225, I definitely suggest it. Northbound 225 blocked because of a pileup at Mississippi. It was a low-speed pileup, so no injuries. The transition ramps at I-70 at 225, several accidents and slide-offs here. Very slick. Eastbound I-70 at Peoria, a crash there as well. Shifting up to the High Country, Berthoud Pass is closed this morning. It's due to reopen at 8 a.m. Well, weather permitting, and Loveland Pass remains closed as well. Kim and Tom.
Thank you, Vicki. While the worst of the snow may be over, at least for the morning commute, the storm did leave plenty behind down in Lone Tree.
We have sent Dan DeRue down there to clean everything up, and he joins us live. Danny, how's that coming?
Hey, good morning, Tom. Good morning, Kim. Hey, here's the million-dollar question. It's supposed to snow a little bit later on this evening, so the question is, after the show, do I snow plow my driveway first and then do it again later, or just let it go all day long and then do it at the very end of the day? I don't know. This is a rhetorical question. I just thought I'd throw it out there. But you know what? Take a look at this live picture. I-25 at Lincoln Avenue, and traffic is up now. We're hearing reports of accidents kind of crunching up, 225 and whatnot. So here's the thing. There could be a false sense of security because look at right now. This traffic's moving along pretty well. Of course, volume is up as well. But, you know, you can see the lanes. It doesn't appear to be too slick. And you're thinking, okay, no problem. But it won't take much to get yourself in a world of you-know-what if you have to stop quickly, or if the vehicle in front of you kind of gets out of control, does a quick lane change, starts spinning around, then you're in trouble, and you're probably going to miss that Bronco game because you're doing all this insurance forms. So you definitely want to give yourself a little berth between you and the vehicle ahead of you. You know, slow it down. Give yourself some time this morning. It looks great. If you're late for work, be late for work. Slow it down. Get there. You'll be okay. Watch your Broncos on Sunday. Watch them win. Have fun on Monday. Right, Tom? Right, Kim?
That sounds simple enough.
I'm talking a lot on it.
It's a good plan. Danny is a master planner. That is great.
It does look like traffic is moving behind you, so that's a good sign.
Yeah. Now, speaking of the traffic, our Pinpoint weather tracker, Darrell Orr, is on the other side of town. He's up north, cruising the Boulder Turnpike, heading back towards Denver.
Hello, Darrell. What are conditions like now?
I'll tell you what, I don't know how many cups of coffee Dan Drew has in the morning, but kind of love keeping up with him. Hey, the traffic out here is plugging along at about 30, 35 miles an hour, but as you can see, that's not concrete where these tire tracks are. That is pure ice. In fact, there's a little bit of divots, a little bit of Grand Canyon stuff going on in there, so your tires are hitting that, and, you know, it can knock your car loose and slide off to the side of the road. So everybody's kind of taking their time this morning. The traffic volume has picked up quite a bit in the last hour here, and I don't see any heroes out here driving this morning. It looks like everybody's doing a real good job so far. We haven't come across too many accidents, but I think that's going to change here in the next hour. So give yourself extra time, and if that sun does pop out by chance today, you're definitely going to need some sunglasses. Tom, Kim?
And the blue stuff. That's all. Greg
yes,
Nieto always talking about the blue stuff. Thanks very much, Daryl. There is other news to report this morning, including Colorado's Democratic Senator Mark Udall's son in trouble this morning. Sheriff's deputies in Boulder say he had heroin in his pockets. 26-year-old Jed Udall stopped for allegedly breaking into cars in El Dorado Springs, south of Boulder. That's when deputies say they found the heroin. So now he's facing 4 counts of trespassing and a controlled substance charge. Jed Udall said he was only looking for jumper cables for a friend's car, but deputies say he did admit to using heroin. Senator Udall has issued a statement saying that he loves his son and will stand with him in his commitment to get treatment.
New developments now on that chemical scare at Skyview Academy and Highlands Ranch. One of the students who was taken into custody has now been charged. There were 2 arrests when a chemical device ruptured inside a classroom inside the school 2 weeks ago. It sent 5 students and a teacher to the hospital, and now investigators say only one of those students was at fault, but they have not said why.
And today we're expecting to learn more about a Westminster bank robbery from last week. The FBI holding a news conference regarding the robbery at the Wells Fargo at 74th and Federal. The bank also expecting to raise $25,000 in reward money, leading to the arrest of the robbers. I want to show you a picture of one of the men who they say held up the bank. The FBI describing him as armed and dangerous.
Well, we're all focused on the Super Bowl, but you know, February is also Valentine's Day. It's right around the corner. It's not just chocolate and flowers that women want this year. The surprising gift women said they'd be happy getting.
And a heavy wave of snow already passing, but more snow is on the way today. Of course, we'll have the latest with Chris Tomer as we keep an eye on the morning rush as well. And in New York City, in just a few minutes, right there, the 2 head coaches of the Super Bowl teams will be getting together for a joint press conference. Both Pete Carroll and John Fox will be live in about 10 minutes right here on Daybreak. Right there already is the Super Bowl trophy that one of them will get to lift on Sunday night.
Weather and traffic to go. Live radar, pretty quiet at this point. We are in between waves of snow with the lull taking over right now on live radar. Here's the situation. So the band of snow overnight has moved away. We're just left with flurries. The second area of snow is building off to the west and arrives for the evening rush later today. So 16 Denver right now, current temp. Fort Collins at 18. A lot of 20s showing up in the mountains. High temperatures, not much warmer than that. Just a lot of 20s up high. 27 will do it in Denver today, all the way up to Boulder and Fort Collins. Let's check out that morning drive. No doubt that rain that fell first yesterday created a little bit of ice.
Exactly the problem this morning that's resulted in several accidents. Here's a new one. This is on the north side of town. Here's the really thick traffic, those taillights moving southbound I-25 at 92nd. And then right here, northbound, you could see the flashers a second ago, but northbound to I-25, there is a crash there. You can see just a light trickle of traffic. Looks like only one lane getting by. It's a slow go this morning. Also, several plows are out. You need to give them room. And of course, they're going to go slow. So just bear with them. Use some patience. Northbound 225. It's still closed near Mississippi. This due to a pileup. No injuries involved, thankfully, but you need to find an alternate route. And actually, southbound, if you can avoid 225 at all, you might want to do that. Sounds like it's a skating rink. Several accidents around I-70 and 225. Also, several accidents around I-76. A rollover here at 220 or 270. Eastbound 270, very slick and slow. Also, jackknife semi at Park Avenue has the exit ramp from southbound to I-25 closed. Kim and Tom, it's a slow go and several accidents.
Too bad. that. Thank you, Vicki. 6:25 now. And in your health news this morning, breakfast apparently is the most important meal of the day. A new study found eating a poor breakfast can have lasting effects on a person's health. Researchers found that teenagers who did not eat a well-balanced breakfast were more likely to suffer from diabetes, high blood pressure, and obesity later on in life. They say a poor breakfast can have a negative impact on blood sugar regulation, leading to those higher health risks. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and this year a lot of women are asking for something a bit different. Rather than chocolate or flowers, a new survey revealed that 78% of women want Botox. But doctors warn this may not be the gift you want to surprise your partner with, noting that it could cause problems, especially if they've never mentioned cosmetic procedures before. They might just take it the wrong way. But if the two of you have talked about it, doctors say it may be something to consider. Still ahead on Daybreak, the excitement is building as we get closer to Super Bowl Sunday. The players are done with their media obligations, and now it's all about putting the finishing touches on the game plan. Closer look at what we can expect from the Broncos come Sunday. And our coverage of this winter storm continues. A second wave of snow is building. What that means for you this morning and coming up this afternoon, that's all coming up on this snowy and cold Friday morning.
From Colorado's own Channel 2, this is Daybreak.
Well, 6:30 on this Friday morning, and the snow is here. This is what downtown looks like. A look at East High School from our Pinnacle cam, and there is snow, but really ice that you're going to have to deal with on many roads this morning. A live look from I-25 in Spear shows that most people have been going slow, but now as we start to add volume to the commute, could get a little tricky this morning. Of course, we'll keep you posted from a weather standpoint and a traffic standpoint.
And in the high country, well, the roads may be a little bit worse, but the skiers and boarders, they're probably appreciating all of this snow this morning. This is a live look from the Eisenhower Tunnel. You can see there's a good bit of snow in that area, but traffic does seem to be moving along this morning, at least right there. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. I'm Kim Posey.
I'm Tom Green. It is the Friday before the Super Bowl, and the snow is causing varying delays and closures. We saw a look at the high country, and some of the mountain areas and foothill areas have called it for the day. Clear Creek RE1, the Platte Canyon schools, and the Summit County School District among those that are closed today. As far as Douglas County, they called it early for a 90-minute delay. Now, there are plenty of closures and delays, so they are all running right there on the bottom of your screen in our ticker format. And of course, they're also available for you on our website at KWGN.com.
We want to get over and talk with Chris Tomer right now. Chris, so this first wave has moved out, right?
Yeah, it's done. We're done with it. Just flurries now. No more accumulation this morning unless you're up in the foothills or the mountains. But we'll get the lull, and then a second wave of snow moves in for this afternoon and the evening rush hour. Here's what we've seen so far. 6 Fort Collins, 7 in Loveland, Denver, Golden 4, Breck's up to 26, Vale's at 26. Both will end at about 30 to 32 inches of snow. So there's the first storm moving away. It takes the snow with it. We'll wait on the second part of the storm, and it will ride the jet stream into Denver for this afternoon into this evening. Radar proving the snow moving away. Just speckles of blue now up and down I-25, so some flurries. It's 16 in Denver. It is a cold morning. We're looking at a lot of teens here. Fort Collins at 18. It's 14 down at Castle Rock. Here's how to plan out the day. We may even see some breaks of sun here by the noon hour in this lull, 24. By the time we hit the evening rush, 27. Second wave of snow, another 1 to 3 inches up and down the Front Range. Here's how it breaks out. 1 to 2 up north. 2 in the metro, Aurora, 3 to 4 down south, 3 to 4 to 5 in the foothills, and another 4, 5, or 6 inches, Vicki, of snow at the ski areas.
Wow, that's an impressive snowstorm. Time saver traffic here at 225 in Parker. You can see very snow-packed in this area. Southbound traffic, now that we have a little bit more volume, we're starting to see that jam heading towards the Greenwood Village. Northbound 225 looks like traffic is moving. It was closed at Mississippi, has been for about an hour for a pileup. I'm wondering, I'll check on that, but I'm wondering if that is now open, because I'd imagine that would probably back up from Parker. Southbound 225 still jammed up, and I tell you, the city streets in Aurora also jammed, and it was partially due to this closure of northbound 225. Still very icy around I-70 and 225. Several accidents being reported in that area. Generally, more volume, more traffic, slower speeds. Several accidents, a brand new one westbound I-70 at Brighton. Southbound I-25 exit ramp at Parker. Still a jackknife semi rollover at I-76 right near 270. And northbound I-25, there is an accident just after Thornton Parkway. Only one lane is getting through. Kim and Tom, it's pretty difficult out there. Northbound 225, still no drive time, closed at Mississippi. Southbound 43 minutes, and I-25 from Denver to Tech Center, 34 minutes.
Okay, thanks, Vicki. Sounds like it will be a slow go if you're just getting out the door, going to work or school today.
Yeah, if I'd known it was going to be this bad, I would have skipped it. But with the ice and snow, many people still have to get there. Among them is Channel 2's Pinpoint meteorologist Nick Carter. Got here, and he's helping us this morning. He's over to I-25 in Spear. Hey, Nick.
Hey guys, happy Friday. Yeah, it's good to see that we're kind of taking a break from the snow. We got about 2.5 to 3 inches of snow right here on the sidewalk, right on the overpass here at Spear Boulevard as you take your little leisurely stroll down into downtown Denver. But Jen, if you can pan the camera just a little to the left, we're going to see north and southbound I-25 where the Hove lane is closed a quarter mile north of here. So that's going to kind of slow you down a little bit. We also have, of course, some icy patches right here along the Spear Boulevard overpass. That's real common. It's really mostly packed snow, but it was really crusty, icy overnight. Remember, it started as rain and then it changed over to snow. This isn't just light powder. It's kind of crusty. This is southbound I-25, and behind me, heading down towards, let's see, right around where 6th Avenue is, and everything is moving a little bit slower than where it was last time around, but that's just normal volume of traffic. So really things are doing very nicely here. It's just that it's really cold with temperatures in the mid-teens. Our skies are pretty much mostly cloudy, but we can actually see some early morning twilight trying to poke through those clouds. I don't know if we'll see any sunshine, but as Chris was telling us, we're probably going to wind up with a little bit of snow this afternoon. So if you are getting up and getting ready to go to work or school, if you have school, you're probably going to have a little bit of a slower go on the way home with these temperatures staying below freezing. Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you, Nick.
Big question now as we head out to the Pinpoint weather tracker, Daryl Orr. Is he listening to Audio Slave or Dawkin, One Republic? You always wonder what he's got
Some sort
on.
of classic rock. Yeah. What have you got going over there, Daryl? I know you're on 270 in the Commerce City area, right?
Yeah, I'm actually listening to the ice crunch under the tires here. We're going so slow. It's like a portable parking lot out here. This is people taking their time and doing a good job of it. Slow going as we head into Commerce City. Back the other way, the report of the rollover accident there at 270 and 76. That's still working right now. We just passed that a couple of minutes ago, and that's down to one lane. Everybody's having to merge to the left, so that's causing a jam as you head to the west side of town. Right here, icy roads still this morning. Temperature out here is about 17 degrees. Really cold. That heavy, wet snow last night, even though we didn't get as much as we thought we would around the metro area, is still creating a lot of problems this morning. The cars driving on it compacted it down, and even the snowplows are having a tough time trying to scrape some of that ice up. So if you see shininess on the road, that's a good indication that you're driving on ice, especially right here on these bridges and overpasses. So, you know, give yourself a lot of time. We keep telling you that, and we're starting to see a little bit of sunlight coming up here on the east. So you might need those sunglasses this morning. Tom, Kim?
Thanks very much. Daryl Orr out there driving around. Some good spots, some bad spots. The volume starting to add to the problems this morning and a tough commute. Thanks, Daryl.
Still pretty early going. Let's see what happens. Well, the countdown to the Super Showdown continues, and we are now just 2 days away from the big game.
Now let's get back over to Times Square in New York City, where Channel 2's Chris Jose is this morning, talking about the Broncos' preparations today and all of the other hoopla surrounding the game. Hey, Chris.
Well, good morning, Tom and Kim. Yeah, we're back here at Super Bowl Boulevard. Have a look back there. You can see that Thunder is here. He arrived here just about a half an hour ago. He's making his rounds with the media. He's out there with the NFL Network right now. As far as the Broncos are concerned, the Broncos players are done talking with the media, and now they can just focus on football, at least for the most part. Have a look at this video right here. Here's the Broncos inside the Jets facility yesterday. They returned to practice today, and instead of meeting with reporters, some will meet up with their families. Denver coaches have told their players time and time again that this is a business trip, so it's really about finding that balance of enjoying the next few days and getting ready for the big game on Sunday.
They answered the same question a million times, so it's time to play football.
I'm not really worried about next year. You know what I mean? I love this team. I love this organization. And everything else in the offseason will handle itself. Right now, I'm really worried about right now and this opportunity we have as a team.
And while the Broncos are all business, the fans are here for a good time and hopeful for a Broncos win. And as we get closer to Super Bowl Sunday, we're seeing a lot more fans arriving at the airport.
I sold my car to come to New York to watch Denver beat the Sea Squawks.
It was top of my bucket list, so I had to take him along.
Go Broncos! And as for the Broncos, they're moving to a different hotel room tomorrow night. That way there's less distraction, and that way they can just concentrate on the big game. And the next time we're actually going to hear from the players is on Sunday night, hopefully after a Broncos victory. Live in Times Square, Chris Jose, Channel 2 News, Daybreak.
All right, did you get up close and personal with Thunder over there?
You know, Thunder was very quick to go by me. You know, he big-timed me. So he's over there with the NFL Network right now. Hopefully, we'll come talk to him coming up here in a little bit.
Okay.
Chris went for the high five, and Thunder left him hanging. Hey.
All right, thank you, Chris.
Of course, when it comes to New York City, there's the Super Bowl now, and the fashion world is always there, and these worlds now colliding.
Bloomingdale's has teamed up with the NFL to raise money for charity. The store enlisted 48 top designers to create some really glitzy-looking helmets. Check those out. Bidding starts at $250, with some helmets already going for several $1,000s. Money raised will go to the NFL Foundation, a nonprofit which helps young athletes and their communities. Ooh, sequins.
I wanted to feminize the helmet, so we covered the entire thing in thousands of Swarovski crystals.
Well, Donna Karen and Kenneth Cole are just some of the designers who are participating. To bid, you can visit bloomingdales.com/Super Bowl helmets. The auction ends on Tuesday.
Those are lovely. Maybe not functional, but lovely. It is 6:40. Some business news on a Friday morning. The Justice Department wants Bank of America to pay $2.1 billion in fines. That amount stemming from mortgage fraud by Countrywide Financial, a firm Bank of America bought in 2008. The government says mortgages Countrywide sold to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac earned the bank about $5 billion. But experts later found about 43% of those loans were defective and sold with misrepresentations. A jury found Bank of America guilty of fraud last October in a civil case involving Countrywide's actions. Facebook launching another app called Paper. It'll be released for the iPhone on February 3rd, and the idea behind Paper is to present longer-form Facebook content in a more attractive magazine-style way to encourage users to linger over posts, stories, and images. There will be no buttons to push. Instead, users will be able to flip through stories and other posts by tilting the phone in various ways and swiping away with their fingers.
A social branding group has looked at thousands of social network users to compile some facts about Broncos versus Seahawks fans. So, according to Gigya, while most of both fan bases are mostly male, the Broncos do have a larger female following, and Seahawks fans were mostly based in the Northwest, but Broncos have fans all over from coast to coast. As for brands, the fans love Seattle, of course, a fan of Starbucks, and us Broncos fans, we apparently love Target. But we share a fondness for Amazon. See something in common with those Seahawks fans.
So if you're stuck with some Seahawk fans, remember there's common ground. Just talk about Amazon.
There you go. Get through the day.
Still ahead on Daybreak, the snow has come. Freezing temperatures leaving a lot of ice around, but there's a second round of snow on the way, and we'll get an update on that.
Also, 7 people already guaranteed Super Bowl rings, and they don't play for the Broncos or Seahawks. We'll tell you who is already a Super Bowl winner.
And additional snow yet to fall in the mountains looks like this. Our snow model centered over the ski areas. Another 4 on the way, Loveland, Winter Park. 3 to 5 on the way, Breck to Vail. Adding to those totals, 8 to 9 more inches from Crested Butte to Snowmass, and that's going to push most ski areas to 30-inch grand totals. And yes, Vicki, we've got snow on the way this afternoon into Denver.
Well, at least it's stopped for the time being. That's the good news. The bad news is we have full freeways, slow-moving traffic, several accidents. 225 has been an absolute nightmare. Also here at I-25 at Thornton Parkway in northbound direction, there's a wreck blocking 2 out of 3 lanes. We'll be right back.
This is a live look from New York City of the Super Bowl coaches press conference. Both Pete Carroll and John Fox actually were expected to start about 15 minutes ago in New York City. You can see the Vince Lombardi trophy just off to the left there. Assembled media. They'll be asking questions to the two coaches. Again, that press conference scheduled to start in New York City any moment now, and we'll take you there live for some of the comments from both of the Super Bowl coaches coming up in just a minute here on Daybreak.
It is 6:46 now, and in other news, federal prosecutors will now push for the death penalty against the surviving Boston Marathon bombing suspect. But defense attorneys for Yohar Tsarnaev may try and save his life by arguing he fell under the evil influence of his older brother Tamerlan, who did die while trying to escape police. The bombings last April, you remember, killed 3 people, left more than 260 other people injured.
New this morning, Amanda Knox's ex-boyfriend has been detained. He's near the Italian border with Austria when grabbed. Rafael Solicito, along with Amanda Knox, convicted again yesterday in Italy in the 2007 murder of British student Meredith Kircher. Knox and Solicito facing 25-year prison sentences. Knox, as you may know, did not return to Italy for the retrial, but her legal team has already said there will be another appeal, adding that extradition should not even be part of any conversation yet.
Today, a report will be released that could dictate the future of a controversial oil pipeline project. The results of an environmental impact study into the Keystone XL pipeline are due out this afternoon. A final decision may not come for several months, but this study is a critical step in the process. The results are seen as a key factor in determining whether the project will go ahead. If approved, the pipeline would carry 830,000 barrels of oil a day from Alberta, Canada to the U.S. Gulf Coast.
What a weather week it has been and continues to be. Chris Tomer is with us. We've been keeping our eyes on MetLife Stadium's forecast for Sunday.
Doesn't look bad.
We're dealing with snow. The southeast is thawing out. There's a lot to go over.
Yeah, and we're in a lull.
Going on.
The 3 L's, then the lull right now. We have another wave of snow coming in this afternoon, but incredible storm totals. If you're up in the mountains, this picture just coming in, Kim and Tom from Leadville. She opened the door, and there it was, almost halfway up the door. About 20 inches in Leadville, of course, one of their high-altitude cities here in Colorado. Right now, looking at 18 degrees in downtown Denver, 18 down in Highlands Ranch, Broomfield's at 14, and we're just left with flurries this morning. I think we could even see some breaks of sun. We're in the lull. Second wave of snow comes in this afternoon. So there it is, the bulk of last night's snow moving away and off to the east, and there it is in pretty good shape across I-25. Our pinpoint futurecast shows that even at noon today, there's no snow across I-25, and with the second wave of snow building up over the mountains, and then it runs across I-25, drops in here this afternoon for the evening rush. It looks like it may even creep up into Fort Collins as well, but it will be heaviest south of Denver over the Palmer Divide. And again, even at 9 o'clock tonight, the snow is still there. But after that, it starts to lighten up and dry up by tomorrow morning. It should be done, maybe just some snow showers hanging up over the high peaks. So 27 today, another 1 to 3 inches coming in for this afternoon tonight. 29 on Saturday, 31, the best day of the weekend will be Sunday as far as sunshine goes. And then another storm for Tuesday, Vicki, with 1 to 3 inches of snow.
We'll be ready. You know, this morning we knew there would be a potential to be a pretty messy commute, but it has definitely developed at this point. This is a shot of I-70 from I-25. This is the on-ramp to get on from Washington. You can see just stalled out traffic, very, very slow, icy conditions, so icy, in fact, that now the ramps from westbound I-70 to get on to either direction of I-25 are closed for several accidents. A rollover I-76 and 270, eastbound 270, a crash at Vasquez, northbound I-25, a bad crash down to 1 lane there at Thornton Parkway. Jackknife semi still blocking the ramp at Park Avenue. 225 is a nightmare. Northbound 225 still closed at Mississippi for a pileup. A new accident, 7 cars involved. Northbound 225 just after Colfax. Transition ramps at I-70 and 225. Also very icy and several accidents. Kim and Tom, I can tell you that I-25 between Castle Rock and downtown actually hasn't been all that bad. It's moving slowly, but at least it's moving. C-470 and the Boulder Turnpike, surprisingly, also not that bad. I-25, 136 to I-70, 36 minutes. 270 westbound is 34 minutes. Eastbound isn't much better. And southbound 225 now rolling 41 minutes of a drive.
Let's go back to New York real quick and take a look at the two football coaches getting ready to start this joint press conference. They were just both posing with the Vince Lombardi trophy that one of them, of course, gets to walk away with after Sunday's Super Bowl. Both Pete Carroll and John Fox holding this joint press conference this morning. The last public media availability for both teams before the Super Bowl. And we'll listen into the coaches as we get started. John Fox is talking now.
Jersey City, the state of New Jersey, for all the hospitality, the host committee, you know, by Mr. Johnson, Mr. Tisch, and as well as the Mara family. All the NYPD, the New Jersey Police Department, who have made us feel very safe, taking great care of us to and from practice facility. You know, great escorts, and the New York Jets for opening up their facility. It's been a tremendous experience. We get to go there one more time today to practice before we head to MetLife tomorrow. And last but not least, I'd like to congratulate Pete Carroll, the Seattle Seahawks, for a great season and what should turn into be a great game come Sunday night. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Likewise, just arriving here, we've felt the spirit of the area. New Jersey, New York is on fire about this ball game, and the message has come through so clear to all of us. Paul Allen and the 12s that represent and follow our program are alive and well in the area. They're enjoying the heck out of it. We're really proud to be here and representing our football team and all of the people that make this happen. John Snyder, our general manager, has done such a great job in putting this thing together and putting us in position to be here. We feel very fortunate. It's a very exciting matchup with a tremendous football team and a great staff and well, it's the obvious stars on their side, and it's going to make for
both coaches talking right now in New York City. This live, of course, Pete Carroll and John Fox thanking all of the people who've made them feel so welcome in the New York, New Jersey area. Now, this is a joint press conference with the two coaches, and this started last year with the two head coaches, being brothers, John and Jim Harbaugh, as brothers. They decided to have a joint press conference, so they're both thanking everybody. And now we'll get down to talking about what they have to say about the game as they get ready for their final practices. We'll listen in to some more of the press conference.
This week, it was a 2-week preparation for both of you. How did it go? How are the guys handling it? Are you ready to go?
Yeah, thanks, Tony. It's worked out very well. We were, excited to get here and wondering what it was all going to be like. And everything has seemed very smooth for us. The media issues that's new for this week, our players handled well, was organized well, and so that was not a factor here. Our practices have gone very well. We had a great setup at the New York Giants facility. The practice setup has been ideal for us. So everything's worked out great. The energy's terrific, and the players are really ready to play a football game.
Hi, Farhan Lalji from TSN over here. Pete, for you, how have you evolved as a coach since your last go-around in the NFL with the Patriots and the Jets? And John, for you, since Carolina, how have you changed as a coach?
Let me go first, Sean. Well, that's a long story. There's been a lot of challenges along the way since the days back here in New York. I don't even know where to begin to answer that question, but the evolution has been ongoing, and the process has been challenging. And I think I had a terrific experience in college football back at USC that really was kind of the groundbreaking for me of figuring out how I want to do this. And so I think all of the experiences were beneficial. That time there gave me an opportunity to be in charge and run a program in the same manner that we're doing it here in Seattle. So the tough times, sometimes you can't forget them fast enough, and then other stories you can't forget. And the time here in New York in particular was extraordinary, even though it was so brief. I remember it well, but it has been a long journey, and very excited that we have a chance to go ahead and show you what we're all about now here with the Seattle Seahawks.
In answer to the second part, I think you're always growing, you're always learning. Life is kind of trial and error. I've always been of the belief you stop learning, you stop living. So there'd be too many individual things to go through right now. But all that's an experience. It's been a fun season, great season, great group of guys to be around, great locker room, much like in Carolina. So a lot of similarities, but then again, some differences.
That, of course, John Fox, along with Pete Carroll, the Vince Lombardi Trophy right between the two of them in their helmets. Their final press conference this morning live from New York. We'll continue to listen in and bring you more of it right here on Daybreak as we get to 7 o'clock. Now, the governor of Colorado is hoping to be a good luck charm for the Broncos. He's making his trip to New Jersey for the Super Bowl. But before he heads east, he's here live in studio. We'll talk to him about the game. We'll get a prediction from him and the possibility of a Super Bowl ever coming to Denver.
And we will get another check of the roads this morning as people begin to head out to work and school. What you can expect as you're heading out the door. You can see the roads are a little bit snow covered still this morning. We'll have all that just ahead on Daybreak on Colorado's own Channel 2.